check, check. Good. If you put your,
Oh.
Yeah. Am I too loud for you? I can turn this down if necessary.
Perfect.
Okay. These are squelches, so listen to this. See how that works? Basically, if you turn the squelch to that point, it'll stop listening until you get to a certain volume level, which is triggered when I talk. Same thing on, this is your side, this is mine. So this is actually, headset's working better than I thought it was going to do it. We're getting a little bit of a crosswind. Do our run up here. Basically, this is just the last opportunity for it to check to see if the engine's running okay and we don't have any issues. So first thing is check the parking brakes, they're good. Cabin doors closed, latched, good. Flight controls are free and correct. Up, down, that's good. Up and right, good. Right, flight instruments set, good. Right, good two. Still shut off is still on. Mixture is still full rich. Elevator trim set it for takeoff. Throttle up to 1700 RPM. Check our magnetos, do the left first. Should get a small drop, which we did. Check the right, small drop also. Check the carpeet. Should get a small drop as well, which we did. Check the mixture control, just make sure it's working. It's working. Alright, got positive amps for charging. Suction's in the green. Alright, check our radius again. 122.9 is the airport here. 121.3 is down at Martin, that's good. 124.92, that's to listen to 8 is down at Martin. Alright, so that's all good. Turn on our flashing beacon, it's already on. That's good. Alright, we already talked about our pre-takeoff brief. So again, we're going to take off this direction. You can see the wind sort of in our face. We got a kind of a crosswind, so we're going to take off kind of like this, and then we'll take off. We'll actually take off with one wheel first, so that if the wind is blowing this direction, and if we're going like this, it'll kind of flop us over. But if we take off like that, we should be good. Alright. Close up the windows here. A little vent right here. In case you want to cool off, you can point that towards yourself. Put it in, close it, turn it different directions, whatever you want. Falston traffic, Cessna 48753 is taxiing to runway 22 for departure, Falston. Not seeing anybody in the traffic pattern, that's good. I guess the first thing we'll do is we'll do a quick landing here. I'll show you how it's done. And talk about traffic pattern while we're at it. Alright, again, we're about to take off with the crosswind, so we put the controls like that against the crosswind. Make sure we got everything set. So the gas is on, flaps are at 10 for takeoff. I feel like I'm talking really loud. Flaps are at 10, mixture's full rich, carpeet's off, this is set for takeoff. Falston traffic, Cessna 753 is departing 22 Falston. Got good power. Watching for airspeed to make sure it's alive. It is, we got to 40 before the trees. There's 50, go ahead and rotate. Hot days, it doesn't climb as fast as I'd like it to. obstacles. Positive rate of climb. I'm going to raise the flap to 10 degrees. Normally when I'm in here by myself, I'm getting close to 1,000 feet per minute. Once we get up to 1,000 feet, we can turn on to our crosswind leg, I mean. Alright, there's 1,000. Well, close to 1,000. We'll give it another second. So we're on crosswind now. And we'll make a turn on to downwind here in a second. Traffic pattern altitude is 1,260 feet. We'll keep climbing as we go towards that. Pull on our car peak. False traffic, Cessna 753 is downwind for 22 false. Actually pretty smooth up here. I was thinking it's going to be a little more bumpy than this. Alright, we're beating the numbers. We'll go ahead and drop down to 1,500 RPM. 3 rolls of trim. Be targeting about 70 knots here. Roll of trim to get that speed down. There we go. There's that thermal I was talking about. It's keeping us up a little bit. Go ahead and turn on to base. False traffic, Cessna 753 is turning left base, 22 false. We got the wind behind us at this point, so we're going to have to probably continue our turn on to final here. Oh, actually, no, we're good. False traffic, Cessna 753 is turning final, 22 false. This is ugly. That crosswind pushed me over a little farther than I liked. Terrible landing. Boston traffic, Cessna 753 is back taxi, runway 22 Boston. This time we'll do what they call a short field takeoff because we had more of a crosswind component than a headwind component. We're quite a ways down the runway, I wasn't too comfortable taking off. We'll do what they call a short field takeoff, which is where you kind of get the engine revved up before you take off. Wheels on, flaps 10, mixture's full rich, carb heat's off. LV trim set, take off. Falston traffic, Cessna 753 is departing runway 22, Falston. Go ahead and go full power on this guy. Feed's alive. There's 40. 50. Yeah, that was much better for, feel a lot more comfortable with that one. We're over the tree line and making positive vertical speed. Go ahead and raise the flaps 10. Boston traffic, Cessna 753 is departing the pattern to the south, Boston.
Visual approach. Everybody's on contact your information. Bravo. RC transmission Bravo 2250, observation, wind 1507, visibility 10, T cloud 4000, temperature 290, 2.26, altimeter 290, 92. Runway 15 use, visual approach. Everybody's on contact your information. Bravo.
Bravo. Alright, go ahead and put up our map here. See where we are. Hopefully, oh, that's no good. Alright, let me put this guy in here direct too. Alright, so that's going to take us straight down to Mark. That'll be good for climb. Keep your eyes out for traffic out there. Switch over to Martin State. Martin Tower, Cessna 48753.
48753, Martin Tower.
753 is 8 miles to the north, inbound for some pattern work, and I have Bravo.
753, report 3 mile final 15.
Report 3 mile final, 15, 753. Right, so the thing about airplanes is the pitch, the nose up or down, actually people think that controls your elevation or your altitude. It actually controls your airspeed. So what the trim actually does is it will change how fast I'm going. If you're using power, what that actually changes. Most people think it makes you go faster or slower. It doesn't in an airplane. It actually makes you increase or decrease in altitude. Some of those stick and rudder skills that you'll end up learning.
Black Tower, Phenom, 306 Golf Victor is with you on a extended right downwind, runway 15.
306 Golf Victor, Martin Tower, continue the downwind, runway 15.
Continue the downwind for 6 Golf Victor.
Somebody's back over there. Probably see those two towers over there? They're probably like back over there, a little farther back.
Yeah, I think I can see them.
Yeah, it might be a boat out there too though.
Or a boat.
Definitely not seeing him out there.
Martin State Tower, Skyhawk 620 Charlie at Alpha Holders 12 on the 15 with a quarter northwest departure.
0 Charlie, runway 15, they're cleared for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 15, 620 Charlie.
November 753, make it a left 360 for spacing. You're going to be number 2 following a Phenom midfield right downwind.
Roger, we'll do a 360 and be number 2, 753.
Phenom 306 Golf Victor, you're number 1 to the airfield, 15, you're clear to land. You're inside of a Cessna on about a 4-mile funnel, making a left 360 at 1,400.
All right, sir, we are clear to land for 6 Golf Victor.
6 Golf Victor, if able, keep your base within 2.5, 3 miles.
We'll cut it tight for 6 Golf Victor.
First time I've had him do this for me before. So right here, this is the turn coordinator. You can see I've got that on that mark right there. No matter how fast I'm going, if I put it on that mark, this airplane's going to turn 360 degrees in 2 minutes. So if I'm going 120 miles an hour, it's going to be a bigger circle. But they have me do this just to give some spacing for somebody who's landing. It's actually more for my safety. If somebody lands right in front of me and they're a bigger airplane than I do, it creates this stuff called wake turbulence. A bunch of like air is twirling around and it can actually kill you. So we'll do what he says.
November 753, continue inbound, runway 15, you're clear, touching all the Phenom traffic's inside of mile funnel now in the factor.
Roger, clear for a touch and go, 15753.
Martin Tower, 5275 Whiskey, left downwind, runway 15.
Okay, 75 Whiskey, extend downwind, you're number 2, following traffic on a 3.5 mile funnel, report that traffic in sight.
Sending downwind, report traffic in sight, 5275 Whiskey.
He's on a downwind, so he's coming towards us right now, someplace over there. Go ahead and get in here a little faster.
Golf Victor, right turn, taxi to park.
Taxi to park, remain with you for 6 Golf Victor.
Tower 0 Charlie, will let me to turn right or...
0 Charlie, right or left turn, your discretion.
Thanks, 0 Charlie.
It's going to extend for Whiskey, traffic to follows, 11 o'clock, 1 mile, 1,300.
Sus.
Traffic in sight, 5275 Whiskey.
75 Whiskey, base Bruto, follow traffic, 15, clear touch and go, number 2.
Number 2, follow traffic for runway 15, 5275 Whiskey.
With the touch and go, we actually don't ever stop. We just kind of touch down and then take off again right afterwards. Basically, you just kind of look at the numbers and see that they don't move on your dash. If it looks like they're stationary, you're going to hit those numbers. You got to make sure you're never getting down below 60 knots here. It feels like the numbers are getting farther from you like they are right now. We have to give it a little bit of gas to get us there. But don't pull back on the yoke because that'll just make you go slower. We're climbing a lot faster with the wind in our face. The people that live down here don't like you to fly over their house too much. So we wait till we get out to these towers here. And we'll turn to the left.
Martin Tower, 5275 Whiskey. I just wanted you to be aware that I was practicing pattern work, so.
675 Whiskey, roger. Left traffic and report midfield.
Left downwind, report midfield, 5275 Whiskey.
75 Whiskey, you're number 2. You're still following the traffic at your 12 o'clock.
Roger that, 5275 Whiskey.
You do have that traffic inside. Looks like you cut inside of them there.
I didn't hear you. What did you say?
Roger. Do you have the additional traffic in the downwind in sight just heading to your right?
Yeah, I see the traffic in sight set my 3 o'clock.
Roger, that was the traffic for you to follow. Make a left at 360 and re-enter the downwind.
Alright, left 360, 5275 west.
Jeez, that's kind of sketchy. Left 360, man. To right 360. Whatever. Closest to another airplane I've ever flown. .753 is midfield for a left downwind for 15. Request touch and go. This will be our last one before we do a downwind departure to the north.
November 753, 15, cleared to touch and go.
Cleared touch and go, 15, 753. Yeah, there's those A10s down there.
November 75 Whiskey report, midfield left to downwind 15. You were given a left 360. Looks like you made a right, but just continue in the downwind.
Alright, maintain downwind, we're at midfield runway 15.
Martin Tower, this is Mooney 1144 Whiskey at Alpha, runway 15, ready for departure.
Mooney 44 Whiskey, Martin Tower 15, cleared for takeoff. Traffic to Cessna approaching left base to final 15.
44 Whiskey, clear for takeoff.
November 753, traffic will be a Mooney departing prior to arrival.
Traffic inside for 753. Get moving.
Tower 5275 Whiskey, port left midfield for runway 15 for the option.
Skyhawk 75 Whiskey, runway 15, clear touch and go number 2. Traffic you're following is just about base destruction of just about runoff, final now.
Alright, looking for traffic number 2 for runway 15 for the option. 5275 Whiskey.
Martin Tower, Stardust 19 Sierra.
23 Sierra, standby. Sierra Tower, go ahead.
23 Sierra, 12 miles southeast, inbound for landing with Bravo.
Stardust 23 Sierra, left downwind 15, report midfield.
Left downwind 15, report midfield, 23 Sierra.
Yeah, that we sank a little bit and our speed went up. Got a little tailwind. Pushed us a little bit.
Martin Tower 5275 Whiskey. I did not see any traffic. Is traffic a factor?
75 Whiskey, begin your base turn 15 to clear touch and go. The traffic's on the go, no factor.
Not a factor, clear for the touch and go for runway 15, 5275 Whiskey.
Martin Tower Cessna 1318 Quebec is 7.5 miles to the north with information Bravo for a full stop.
3-1 Quebec, Martin Tower, port 3 mile final 15.
3 mile final for 15, 18 Quebec.
I don't see that Mooney anywhere. I don't know where he went. This is not my normal flight, man. The airplanes in front of me everywhere I go.
1144 Whiskey, request to heading course towards Easton.
The airport isn't normally busy.
It's usually busy, but usually people listen to what they're told to do.
44 Whiskey.
airport over here. It's called Essex Sky Park. Probably won't see it in the trees, it's really small.
Jack, I want to get back. Traffic following is inside of a mile. Final, no factor, 15, clear to land.
5 clear to land, 1 Quebec.
Skyhawk 75 Whiskey, make right close traffic.
Right close traffic, 5275 Whiskey.
Seven 753 is departing the pattern to the north on the downwind.
753, roger. You exit on pattern, or are you going to make one more?
Exiting now, please. Thank you. 753.
753, roger. Continue on course.
Roger, continue on course. 753.
Mooney 1144 Whiskey, requesting frequency change.
44 Whiskey, frequency change approved.
44 Whiskey, good day, thank you.
Park Tower, November 41696.
41696, one time.
Yeah, I just departed Essex Sky Park. Request for transition to north of TV Hill and then to the west.
November 696, transition approved, altimeter 29992.
Transition approved, 29906, thank you.
Roger, altimeter is 29992.
Okay, 29902, got it, thank you.
Martin Tower 5275 Whiskey, reporting right midfield, runway 15 for full stop.
Sky 75 Whiskey, 15, clear to land number 2. Traffic you're following short final.
Number 2, following traffic short final, runway 15 for full stop. 75 Whiskey.
Visibility's kind of going down a bit. A little bit muggy out there. Can't even see the horizon. I guess you can if you look hard, but over there in the dark it's not so visible.
Martin Tower, 230, mid-field, 15.
23 Sierra, roger. You're following Cessna traffic opposite base to final. Continue downwind.
Continue downwind, 230.
Mike, back right turn, Juliet, taxi to park.
Right turn Juliet, taxi to park, 1 Quebec.
Seven 753, request frequency change.
November 753, frequency change approved.
Roger, thanks for your help today. 753.
Keller Brothers to the Paramount, turning left crosswind for 25, Keller Brothers.
Franklin County traffic, Cessna 733 Juliet Echo is entering a right downwind for runway 24, Chambersburg.
Boston traffic, Cessna 48753 is 5 miles to the south, inbound landing 22, Boston. Actually, you want to fly around a little bit more? You can go fly around a little bit more if you're interested, or we can go land, it's up to you.
I'm completely fine with flying around.
Okay, let's head over to, I guess we'll head over to like by the Conowingo Dam.
Yeah, I heard it's flooded.
Is it? Okay,
Yeah.
That'll be cool to watch. Boston traffic, cancel that landing for 753. We're going to head out to the east, Boston. Alright, so we talked about the rudder pedals, right? Like, if you just, you can put your feet on the pedals if you want. So, just like the tiniest little bit of pressure, you can feel me just pushing a little bit. Doesn't take much to make it go. If you stomp it all the way to the floor, we'll probably die. But just a little bit of pressure, so go ahead and you can do a little bit left and right if you want. Feel how it kind of leans into the turn when you push it on the left. Alright, I'm going to get out of Boston's traffic area here, so we're going to go a little bit to the left. You can see the airport right down there. If somebody was in the pattern, we might be making a nervous.
Turning base for 25, Killer Brothers.
Alright, so let's talk a little bit about, like I said, the turn coordinator. This does two things. Number one, we talked about that already. It tells you how fast you're turning in a circle. So the dial here with the ball in the middle and the lines, that's the coordinator. It tells you if you're turning in such a way that you're not doing what's called a skidding turn, which is where you're going around the corner, your back end's coming around, and you're not doing a slipping turn where you're going around a corner kind of with your back going the wrong way. Slips are safer than skids are. Sometimes if you're coming into landing and you're too high, you can do something called a forward slip. Essentially what you do is you point the nose down, give it full rudder to one side, and then lean it to one side so it comes down kind of like this. What that does is it puts the side of the airplane into the wind and makes it kind of like a big barn door that slows you down. They're kind of fun. If we're up too high at some point, we can maybe try one. But if you're doing a skidding turn, that can actually make you go into a spin, and you can actually, you know, unrecoverable, especially if you're close to the ground. I've never been in one and don't plan to ever be in one, so as long as you keep this ball between those two lines, you can't skid or you can't slip, alright? So when you do a turn, basically what it does is the G-force of the turn, if you're kind of turning, like if I just step on this and keep myself going straight, look at that ball. So the wings are level, but I'm kind of, this is basically a slip right now.
Traffic, Cessna 733, delete echo, final
do the same thing the other direction, right? A real coordinated turn, you'll feel the weight directly in your seat. It won't be side to side. Like when I'm doing that, you can kind of feel your butt kind of going to one side. If I were to do this, you use the rudders to keep yourself in line, and the way you do that is, it says this, the way you remember it is you step on the ball. So if the ball's to the right, you step on the right pedal. If the ball's on the left, you step on the left pedal. So if I do this, it's kind of to the right, so I got to give myself a little bit of right rudder. You can kind of feel it go through the turn a little bit better. So you can see out here we've got APG. That's there's an airport on there, but it's inside of a restricted air zone, so we got to stay out of that. Right now we're kind of heading straight towards 0 Whiskey 3. That's Harford County Airport. Kind of fly over the top of them. In fact, we'll switch to their frequency so we can hear if there's anybody in the pattern or whatever. Harford County traffic, Cessna 48753 is 7 miles to the west at 2000, transition to the east, Harford County. pilots know that I'm in the area. Be looking for me.
And Tappahannock traffic, Second 292 Tango Alpha entering a left downwind out of 45 for runway 28 Tappahannock.
YW Cessna on left downwind 19, YW.
Van Zandt traffic, Skyhawk is 5 to the south, inbound landing.
They're all different airports. Is it Bainbridge or something? I don't see anybody on the runway down there on Harbor County.
Clearview traffic, 29501, turning base for runway 32.
Van Zandt traffic, Skyhawk will be on a 45 to the left downwind 25, full stop Van Zandt.
This thing's reporting that we have some traffic kind of dead ahead here.
YW Cessna left base.
Flying that direction over the water. Just looking out of his way. This one that's right by us, I think, is actually us. I think it's picking us up. Yeah, it looks like the dam is spewing out some water over there. If you can see it or not.
And Van Zandt traffic, Skyhawk is turning left downwind for 25, full stop. Second 292 Tango Alpha turning left base for runway 28 Tappahannock.
YW Cessna turning final 19, YW.
South Jersey traffic, wall right downwind, runway 26, South Jersey.
Northumberland traffic, steer centering left downwind 26, Northumberland.
Yeah, I've never seen the dam overflown like that. That's pretty awesome. I'll put it on your side when we turn there. You can take a look out the window. Some pictures of it.
Van Zandt traffic, Skyhawk is turning left base for 25.
So we better start heading back now. Starting to get kind of... It might start want to be getting dark here.
Back down. 3, 2, sorry about that.
Traffic, Skyhawk is turning final for 25.
Clearview traffic to Castellon, 9 miles southeast of the airport, inbound landing, full stop Clearview.
South Jersey traffic, wall final, runway 26, South Jersey.
Alright, so we've got to follow this magenta line of Whiskey 42. If you want to fly, go ahead and keep us on that heading. So the side to side makes us lean. That's the ailerons. Want to keep it coordinated using the rudders too. A little bit of, if you're going to the right, a little tiny bit of right rudder to keep it in line. Turn them a little bit to the left, so go a little bit to the right now. If you just do 2 fingers on this thing, you don't need 2 hands. Just like on one hand, just
Donegal
like
Springs
this.
traffic. Any traffic at Donegal Springs? 2 minutes to 4 jumpers at Donegal Springs, 10,000 feet and below. Use caution. Parachute jumping at Donegal Springs in 2 minutes.
A little bit more to the right. Yeah, we'll go a little more to the right still. There we go. Stay on that magenta line. So what I was talking about before, the trim is set so that you don't have to push forward or back. Right now you just fly hands off if you want. You can actually literally fly with just your feet. It'll keep us in line. Basically, the trim sets your speed, right? So we're going to go a little bit to the right
Clearview
here.
traffic, Decathlon is 6.5 miles southeast of the airport at down landing full stop.
Got a little bit of a crosswind pushing us that way, that's what happened there. So we're, if I set this thing down a little bit more,
leg for runway 26, spots down meaning.
it'll make our speed go up. If I push it upward or push it down, it'll actually make us go slower. If I push the throttle in all the way, what it's going to do is the speed won't change very much. It might a little tiny bit, but then it'll even out. But basically, we're just going to start climbing. So our speed stays about 92, 93. And we start climbing instead. You can see our vertical speed's 500 feet a minute. This is going up. Eventually, this will even out, and we'll start going at the same speed as we were. And then if we want to, yeah, there it goes, it's starting to even out now. So what happens is we hit it and it started going up like this as it caught up to speed, and then it kind of leveled out. And it'll go back to the same speed again. Even with full throttle, we're just climbing now. If I drop that back down to 2300 RPM, the opposite's going to happen. We're going to nose down a little bit, and we'll catch up to speed, and this will catch up to 95, never go any faster or slower. We're going to start descending instead. Go this way a little bit. We're going to lose a little bit of altitude before we head into Falston here too anyway, so good time to do what we're doing anyhow.
Clearview traffic, Decathlon 3.5 miles south-southeast of the airport inbound landing full stop, Clearview.
You can see where the runway goes right there, the white line. So we'll probably, yeah, the white line within there. So
traffic,
we're actually going to fly out to the right a little bit and then go in straight onto that runway. It's runway 22 where we flew out of too, so we'll just land over the top of the barn again.
Clearview traffic, Decathlon 145 left downwind 14, Clearview.
So this is a directional gyro indicator, and what that does is it...
Cisco traffic, Cherokee 478.
That's two people trying to talk at the same time. Basically, this is a directional gyro. It's got a gyroscope in it, so that it always points in the same direction, and then the airplane kind of turns around it, right? And that's what makes it turn. But gyros, because there's a little bit of friction in them, will sometimes start to lose and fade a little bit. So we just have to look at our magnetic compass and set it. And the thing about magnetic compasses is if you're speeding up or slowing down, it can actually make it turn one way or the other, so you have to be going straight and level when you set it. Right now, I just set it a second ago, so we're at 240 degrees, and we're about the same here. It's good if you're in instrument conditions because you don't have this thing like, if I were to do this, it kind of wobbles around a little bit. This will stay solid. You can really point where you want to go. So I'm going to go ahead and fly to the west for a minute until we get up here to the point where we're going to turn onto the final onto 22 at Falston.
How sensitive are the rudders?
Well, you can push them a little bit if you want. Just kind of feel. Push it the other way, you can feel it.
Left turn base, left turn final, full stop Clearview.
Just try and keep it on the W though. Go to the right. Go to the right.
Skyhawk turning left base 56, spots on here.
Switch back to Falston. Falston traffic Cessna 48753 is 6 miles to the northeast. Inbound landing 22, Falston. Just fly out this way a little bit and then make a left turn. If you look off to your right, you might see another airport out there. It'll be off to the right and just down. Actually, you can see it. There's a bunch of buildings right there.
Yeah.
Right between them, there's an airstrip. It's Forest Hill Airport. It's a private airport, so you can't land there. It used to be a public one, but somebody crashed a jet there and they closed it down afterwards. I mean, in an emergency, I would land there. I'd prefer that over a field out in the middle of the farm, you know? Alright, go ahead. Put this guy out here.
Isn't that where the soccer place is?
I think there is a soccer place in there, yeah. There's a swimming pool too.
I had to go there to get my Eagle Scout, I guess, project approved.
Oh yeah? Cool. A little different vantage from up here than down there though.
Yeah.
A little better. Alright, go ahead and turn on to final here. See if I can find the airport. Couple of birds over here flying. Definitely want to stay away from those guys. Or ruin your day. Boston traffic, Cessna 48753 is 3.5 miles to the northeast, inbound landing 22, straight in, Boston. See the airport yet? Basically lined right up with the runway straight in front of us.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'd do without a GPS, I'd be totally lost. Like you can read the charts and it'll point, you know, there's towers here and there's that, this and that there. But it's so green down there, everything looks the same to me. Nice and smooth air now. The wind's really died down. The slightest crosswind from the left at this point, but very slight. How about that landing? Very smooth. False traffic, Cessna 753 is back taxiing 22 false. Put some gas in it, put it away. Good time to land right before it starts getting dark. There are lights here, but I don't know how to turn them on, so. Supposedly there's an app you can put on your phone, and I haven't done it. Not sure how the owners feel about us, everybody having the access to do that.